Hey guys, so this episode is airing on the American holiday of Thanksgiving. And if you know about this holiday, it's a lot about gratitude and being grateful. And so I want to do an episode about actually being that energy of gratitude instead of just sometimes taking steps to do it. I mean, we've all heard like make a gratitude list. And one of the reasons why it's so effective is because when we put our attention on what we have, what we are grateful for, what's going well, what's supporting us, we move our subconscious mind in that direction because our unconscious is actually wired to notice and always be looking for what might be wrong, what's a danger. And that's a design of that very primitive part of the mind that has survival advantages, but definitely not anything for thrival. So what's beautiful about the mind, though, is when we redirect it, what we put our focus on and our energy is what grows. And so really when we do actually look at the things in our life we are grateful for, it changes the energy. When we are grateful, we actually can't be in judgment of something. When we're grateful, it's like putting a deposit in to our actual being, into our lightness, into what is true, rather than letting our mind or our ego run the show of what we're scared of, what we're doubting, where we're in lack. And so really the practice of being grateful, and I'm going to give you some ideas for different, like really simple ways to be that and to change the energy. It really is such a powerful practice because it's creative. It's a generative, creative process, being grateful, because it takes us out of lack, of scarcity, of doubt, and of fear. So this time of year can be really wonderful for some. It can also be very hard and difficult. No matter when you're listening to this episode, it doesn't have to be around the holidays or where you're at. The most powerful thing that we have is our choice, and our choice to actually change our energy from the inside in any moment. So yesterday I woke up and I was feeling really uncomfortable, really sad. My brain was really going into doubt about everything, about my life, my business, like scarcity, money, like all the stuff that can come up. And so I actually was like, you know what? I'm going to start looking at what I am grateful for. All of the things, the people, the experiences in my life, from the simplicity of having water in my house and food to my daughters, to all sorts of things. And I started making a list, just a note on my phone. And I kept going and going and going. And I got up to, 130 or so. And it completely changed my day. It changed my perspective, how I was viewing everything. So I'd like to encourage you, and I know that sounds huge, to get up to 100 if you can. And there were times where, I'd get to a few. I didn't start counting until I was like, wow, this list is getting longer. And just see if you can keep going. When you hit a little like stuck part of like, I don't know what else I'm grateful for, pause, maybe look outside, look around the house, look at your body. What else can you be grateful for? And what was interesting in just writing that, and again, putting my attention on where I'm supported, who's in my life, all of the beauty and nurturing and things, like simple things like the sunsets I love seeing in my town, the neighborhood I get to walk my dog in, like all sorts of things. And that didn't take very long. The energy of my day shifted. And so for the rest of the day, which was beautiful, rather than sitting in that place where my mind takes over, right? We all have that, where it wants to go in this loop of, but what about this or this or this, or worry about the future or reminisce on the past. And the thing about gratitude is it puts us in the present moment, and there's this like stillness and silence and contentment that comes over us, and it changes our energy. It changes our vibration, and everything is energy. It's how we show up in our lives. It's how we interact with people. It's how we feel. It's how we feel in our bodies. It's all energy. So that's my first practice idea for you to play with, is seeing if you'd like to write a list of 100 or more things, people, experiences, from simple to whatever comes up, and see, just as an experiment, see how it changes your energy for that moment, for the day, going forward. And then you can always come back to that list on other times where you start to go to lack, and looking at what's not working and shift your attention. So another thing, because this is around the holidays, a lot of us see family, friends, are traveling or having people over. And yesterday I was in a yoga class with one of my favorite teachers here in town. And she was saying her in-laws were in town, and she was just practicing the simplicity of saying to them, "Hi, how are you?" And then listening, just listening. And there is a simplicity in that when we actually listen, and we're not there to tell someone like what's going on in our lives, which we can do because they just might ask you how you are back. It's quite a common question. But to really be curious and interested in other people, and not from, I need to get in and, figure out, tell them my points of view, or if I agree or disagree with them, just listening. And it's such a beautiful practice to really be curious and be interested, and the simplicity of asking questions and just being with someone. And with that, I wanted to add in, when we are interacting, it could be family, it could be friends. A really beautiful way also to have conversations and connect with people based on energy is to notice, there's infinite flavors, I guess I would say, of energy that are around us all the time. And one of the ways that I find helpful to kind of look at those is if you look at the elements that are around us in the world, in the universe. I like to look at energies with those flavors. Like there's an earth energy, which is very grounded. That kind of, I'm here for you, I've got you, you're safe. That energy, the very present, I'm with you. I like to think of that as earth energy. And then there's also air or spaciousness, which is very much like there's no emotions, there's no drama there. It's this expansive, infinite space of just giving someone room to breathe, basically. And that's that element and that kind of flavor of air energy. And then flow, or water energy, is very relational. It's very connective. Think when you've ever held a child or an animal, and that sense of connection that flows from your belly to your heart to their belly, this interconnectedness, relational, soft, almost like a divine mother energy, not necessarily your mother, but this motherly, nurturing energy is that water energy. And then the spicy energy of fire, which is very courageous or brave or bright or present or in your power, however you like to think of that more spicier fire energy. And so when interacting with people during a holiday or any time of year, another way to connect, when we ask a question, "Hey, how are you?" and are listening, notice if someone is maybe feeling a little flat and you notice they're maybe distant or not seeming to be very excited or happy, maybe playing with okay, what does this person require? What energy can I be that would create more ease here, more of a connection, more of just a great interaction at that time? And so it might be, oh, I can connect with this person with that heart to heart, that flow energy of nurturing. Or maybe it's the earth energy of, hey, I'm really here and present and listening to you. I'm not going away. I'm present, I'm here, is very much an earth energy. Or if someone's going through something and they're telling you about something in their life without having to say, oh my gosh, that's horrible, and diving in with them into the drama, you can be that air quality, that very spaciousness, just all of this room for them to breathe and be themselves. And sometimes that fire energy can add a bit of energy, of intensity, of excitement, of enthusiasm, of resiliency. So we all are energetic beings first and foremost, right? So we have the capacity, and you're doing this all the time without maybe being consciously aware of it. When we interact with someone, yes, there's words going on, but first and foremost, we're responding to the energy, the vibration, the transmission we're receiving from that person. And we all know some interactions are more difficult or challenging than others, and some are quite easy. So I always find this time of year, or any time when I'm around bigger groups of people, it could be an event, it could be a holiday, is to really, again, be in that energy of I'm grateful to be here and to be interacting with this person, asking questions, being interested and curious. And then if you'd like to play with this energy of noticing, how are they, and what energy can you shift or just be aware of to create more of that really beautiful interaction with someone, so that everybody walks away different and with maybe a different conversation than how it would have gone if we would have brought our awareness to this. And then another thing around this time of year, because we're coming up to, again, Christmas, and if you celebrate that holiday or something else at the end of the year, where there's a lot of gift giving. And another thing that I find really changes my perspective and can help us change our perspective is to be of service and be gifting to others. So I know, like, for example, at my daughter's school, they adopt different families where you can gift presents to some of the families and children that don't have the resources. And in just an act of something like that, or donating to Goodwill, or helping out serve a meal at a food shelter, one, it's a beautiful thing to gift to others, and also reminds us of, again, the things that we're lucky to have and be supported, and then give that support to others. So if there is something in your community where you can get involved, that may be an action you'd like to take to, again, change the energy, change your focus to giving to others and being that energy of gratitude. And then finally, one of the things I love to practice every day, but especially when things pick up and get busy around the end of the year, is to add into my day moments of stillness and silence. And it's amazing what a minute here and a couple minutes there can do. Again, it's like adding in, making a deposit into the lightness of yourself, into your being, rather than getting pulled into how busy and stressful and everything that can be going on in that storyline. And I love to, for example, before I even get out of bed in the morning, I wake up, I sit up in bed, and I take a moment to do a few minutes of breath work. And that might be something as simple as 10 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just sighing. It could be that simple. And then sitting for a moment, just in silence, before I get up and start the day and take my kids to school or go off shopping for presents, whatever it is that you have going on that day. And then throughout the day, later, if you notice, you're getting anxious or doubtful or just stressful or taken out of your center and your peace, adding in, it could be just, okay, I'm just going to sit here and close my eyes just for a minute. And if the mind's thinking, which it does, that's what it does, just noticing it and being a witness to that. But adding in any moments of stillness, of silence, maybe you just choose to lay on your couch or the bed, just set a timer for 5 minutes without a phone, without anything to do, can be such a gift as a way to, again, add back in to your energy. So we build that up so we have more presence, so that we can be in the moment, be around other people, take care of all the things in our lives. So that is it for this quickie episode. I just really wanted to drop in and say happy Thanksgiving if you are celebrating that holiday, and then to give a couple of these just practices that might create more ease for you. And if you'd like more, I do have a 21-day gratitude kind of challenge or series that comes via email. It's free. If you go to emilyevansrussell.com/gratitude, you can sign up and you just get like a question or a practice or a quote each day for 21 days to contribute to being in this energy of changing our focus to where we're supported, what we have, all the beauty in our lives, which keeps us in a very creative energy, a light energy where we're connected with ourselves and others. So happy Thanksgiving if you are celebrating that holiday, or just happy having a day of gratitude. And thank you so much for being here, and thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next episode. I hope you got something out of that episode. If you like this podcast, please share it with someone you know who'd find it useful or interesting, and subscribe so that you can listen to past and upcoming shows.